What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 2 matchup here in the PLW Majors. After a rough loss last week due to a massive amount of mulligans, we are back with our semi-stall team to take on Abdul and the Dead Darkrai. His team consists of Landorus Incarnate with Sandforce, Toxapex, Crocodile, Florges, Rotom, Cut, Rotom-Mow, whatever you want to refer to it as, Oricorio, Mega Scizor, Volcarona, Hitmontop, Meloetta, and Tyrantrum, with his Z-Crystal users being Volcarona and Oricorio. So, really interesting team. Bunch of Volcarona and Scizor are really tough offensive mons to deal with. If he brings the right sets, if he brings the right set of Volcarona, he could probably just sweep me outright. But I'm not going to let that happen. So, for the most part, his team's not super duper scary. But I think we built the proper team to handle this, so hopefully we can pick up W this week, and our first W with our stall team. And hopefully we can make it above 50 turns, because we didn't even come close to 50 turns last time. We could have, but like it would have been pointless to get to 50 turns. Actually, I think we might have hit 50, but I'm not sure. But this week we are bringing Rupee, our Mega Sableye, once again, fully specially defensive. The reason we're going full Spadef is because out of his whole team, like the most threatening things to us, things like Volcarona, Meloetta, Oricorio, Rotom, Florges are all special attackers, and I wanted to be fully specially defensive so that I can actually take a Moonblast potentially from the Florges if I have to. So we'll see how that goes. We have Recover, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic, and Knockoff. Knockoff is just for switch-ins. I can get rid of items and stuff on things, which would be nice. Will-O-Wisp is important for some of his physical threats. Also to cancel out like Black Sludge on Toxapex, but I have another plan for whittling down the Toxapex as well with this team, so hopefully that will work out. So we have the Will-O-Wisp regardless. I think that'll be really good for whittling down things like the Crocodile and the Mega Scizor, kind of crippling them a little bit. We have the Toxic for anything that is not a physical attacker / is immune to the Will-O-Wisp, so that we can whittle those things down. And then we have Recover just to keep ourselves healthy. A pretty standard set. Nothing crazy here. So we're going to move on to Over Easy, our Chauncey. We're bringing the Mega Sableye Chauncey Core this week for the first time. This is the first time I've ever used Chauncey in League format. We're bringing fully physically defensive Chauncey with the Eviolite, of course. Soft Boil, Toxic, Aromatherapy, and Stealth Rock. Yes, this Mon gets shut down entirely by Taunt. But looking at the matchup, the only Mon on my opponent's team, the only Mons that I can see that have access to Taunt are, I believe, Crocodile, maybe Mega Scizor, and I think Oricorio have access to Taunt, but that's about it. So depending on which one of those Mons they bring, I'm never going to stay in on Crocodile. Oricorio, if he has Taunt on Oricorio, then good play for him. But other than that, I'm not 100% sure about anything else on his team. So I'm not really too super worried about that. So we'll see how that goes when the time comes. But Toxic is very important because we can get Toxics on a few different Mons that might want to come in on this pretty easily and just start wearing them down. Soft Boil to keep this thing healthy, Aromatherapy to keep status off of our team, which is nice. And then we have these Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rocks can be very important in this game. Whittle down things like the Mega Scizor, Volcarona, which is 4 times weak to them, and stuff like that, just to kind of get some chip damage. If I can get the rocks up, that'd be great. If not, it's not a huge deal. I don't really care. But it'd be nice if I can potentially do that. The next model we're bringing is a fun set. We're bringing Kevin the Pyukumuku, making his debut this week. Leftovers with Unaware. We're bringing Unaware because potential SD Mega Scizor, Calm Mind Oricorio, The list goes on and on. Combine Florges, Moxie Crook, some type of setup Lando Eye, Calm Mind Meloetta, Dragon Dance Tyrantrum. The only one that's actually scary is Quiver Dance Volcarona, but at the same time, I don't entirely know if a Grassium Z can kill me. We're going to find out right now, because realistically, that's the only thing that Pyukumuku 2 and 248 versus a Volcarona Quiver Dance set with, say, Solar Beam as worst case scenario with Grassium Z, and Grassium Z with Solar Beam has a 37% chance to kill me. So, realistically, he's not going to OHKO me with any Z move. Same with Oricorio. I think Oricorio is actually weaker. Yeah, Oricorio is significantly weaker. So, like, it's not going to be able to do shit to me. So, that's awesome. So, yeah, I don't have to really worry about getting OHKO'd by a Z move, which is great. We have Recover, Soak, Toxic, and Taunt. Taunt is nice to stop things coming in on switches. And the one thing I like about this mon in particular is it actually has the potential to whittle down Toxapex. If I can get off the Soak Toxic combination, which I don't think he'll let happen, but if I can get it to work, that'd be hilarious. So I can get the Toxic on the Toxapex, and even if he switches out and comes back in as a poison type, he'll still be toxic. So he'll still get whittled down, and that'll be fantastic. So hopefully that will work out. I think that would be an awesome thing to happen. I think that would make this match so much easier if I can Toxic the Pyukumuku. Or not Toxic the Pyukumuku, Toxic the Toxapex. I think that would be really, really awesome if I can do that, because realistically, like, that's the one big thing stopping my team from doing a lot is Toxapex. So if I can Toxic that thing and start whittling it down, that'd be fantastic. However, he does have a Cleric in the form of Florges, so, like, he can remove it, but, I could always try to get it back on him if I need to. So, like, it's an option. But being unaware is going to be very important this week, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what Pyukumuku can do in this matchup. So, yeah, there's our Pyuku. Next up, we are bringing Curtis Haxel, the Haxorus. We had to bring something a little more offensive this week because he does have some things I need to break through. We have Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Poison Jab with the Unnerve ability with Groundium Z. Max attack with a Jolly Nature, taking us up to enough speed to outpace the Oricorio. Yeah, because Oricorio taps out at 313, so we are outspeeding that. We can get a Dragon Dance up. We can fist his team pretty significantly well, which is really nice. We can really fuck his team up, like, big time, which I love. I do want to really fuck his team up a lot. So hopefully we can do that. Dragon Claw and Poison Jab really punch holes through a lot of things. Dragon Claw really hurts everything that doesn't resist it or isn't immune. Poison Jab is there for that Florges, so we can really knock that thing out. And lastly, we have the Earthquake. Earthquake is there to hit the Scizor, but Earthquake plus Groundium is there for the Toxapex. Because if he Shook-a-Berry Toxapex, with the Unnerve ability, we will be able to break through that Toxapex immediately with our Groundium Z without having to worry about him munching on that Shuka. We can keep him from eating that berry, and we can break through him. Unnerve is such a good ability. It'll also be really good if he brings Kebia Berry on his Florges to try to stop us from killing it with a Poison Jab, because it will be unable to do so. So that is awesome. So Curtis Haxel actually has a really good chance to sweep his team potentially this week if I can get a Dragon Dance up. So hopefully we can pull that off. I think that'd be really awesome if we can sweep with Haxorus. So that is the plan there. Next we have Sanic, our Shaymin, bringing a modest Assault Vest set this week. We are running 8 into our speed stat. And why are we running 8 in our speed stat? Why are we running 8 in our speed? What are we doing here? What is the point of this spread? To be honest, I'm totally confused. Okay. This doesn't really outspeed anything. Why do I have... Why do I have this spread? Why am I this spread? I don't... Hold on, there's got to be a reason for this. Hold on. Before I completely write it off as nothing, there has to be some kind of reason as to why I put the 8 there. But why, Jeff? Why? The only thing I can think of, because that's actually slower than Min Speed Lando I, if I remember correctly, because I think Min Speed Lando I actually clocks in at 238 exactly, so it speed ties with Min Speed Lando I. I think this is just in case he speed creeps like a Min Speed Shaymin. I don't know. What would he speed creep Min Speed Shaymin with? I know there was a reason for this to be here. If I can't see the reason, I'm just moving it over to Spadef because it really doesn't matter. It could potentially be for Mega Scizor if he's adamant and he speed creeps with it. It could be for Mega Scizor. I can't honestly think of a good reason. I'm having severe issues trying to think of a good reason as to why I had this speed there. I don't think there's anything on his team that he could really justifiably speed creep that much to outspeed us. Because his bulky mons, like, he just doesn't want to outspeed. He doesn't want to speed creep that much. Even though, realistically, this is the fastest mon on my team, so maybe he would do that? I don't know. Shaymin is the fastest mon on my team, so he could maybe speed creep. I don't know. We'll leave it there. We'll see if hopefully it turns out to work out in my favor. I don't know. We'll see. But that's our Shaymin. Yeet. And then next up we have Spiky Burb, the Zapdos, with our Rocky Helmet Pressure ability. Pressure ability will be really nice this week because he has some mons that I like to stall a little bit. We have Roost, Thunderbolt, HP Ice, Toxic. Mostly physically defensive set with a little bit of Spadef investment. I do think that there was a reason for that physical defense. I'm not entirely sure what it was, so I'm not even going to bother inquiring too much. But with this set, this is a amazing switch into Mega Scizor. This thing shuts it down entirely. Then we can just Thunderbolt or HP Ice, predicting switches and whatnot, and we can really pressure his team that way. We can go for Toxic, predicting the switch, which would be nice. But he'll always get Rocky Helmet damage on hitting this thing, which is great. We can really chip down the Scizor this way. Other than that, this thing can take hits from a lot of mons on his team. Just roost off damage. Get Toxics on things. This thing is a good thing to have in front of the Toxapex, because Toxapex really can't do a lot to this thing at all. So we can Thunderbolt and really weaken that thing down, which is really nice. So I think that would be really awesome. for us. And yeah, pretty straightforward Zapdos set. It works. It should work really, really well this week. I think it will be very effective. But with that, though, we are going to go ahead and get into the battle. Let's go. Alrighty, guys, we are here for our Week 2 battle against Abdul and the Dead Darkrai. He brought his Florges, his Crocodile, his Volcarona, that Mega Scizor of his, that Tyrantrum, and the Rotom-Mow. So let us hop into this. We are going to switch sides, obviously. Now, you're going to see really quickly that we don't have a lot to deal with Tyrantrum. And I'm going to quickly hop over to the document. We're going to go to our roster. And I want you to tell me what we have that really takes hits from Tyrantrum. Maybe Sandslash? You know, in hindsight, I could have brought Sandslash, maybe Registeel, to try to eat a hit from that. But at the same time, Sandslash gets shut down by Rotom Cut, can be beat by Oricorio, potentially, and just doesn't do a lot against his team. And Registeel, well, there's a Landorus and a Volcarona potentially on the other side, so I just didn't see that as being a safe bet. But we're about to see how much Tyrantrum is a problem. So, obviously it's Rockade, it's going to go for a Head Smash, and that is a banded Tyrantrum. I get the Rocks Up because I want Rocks Up to try to mitigate problems with his team, but he's just going to be able to take out my Chauncey, and that is horrifying. So I go into my... So what's unfortunate is I have to go into my Haxorus, and I have to go immediately for my Groundium Z. I have to burn my Z move turn 3, because that's the only way I can OHKO the Tyrantrum. I obviously he knows it, so he's gonna switch into his Florges here, get knocked down pretty freaking low, and I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake again. I figured like that's my best possible play. He's gonna go now into his Crocodile, which pretty much just hard shuts down my Haxorus. So I'm gonna switch here, as he is going to go for a Bulk. That is terrifying enough as it is. So I'm going to go into my Sableye here, Mega Evolve, and I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp, trying to burn the Crocodile. He's going to actually absorb that burn with his Rotom-Mow, as he's now going to go for a Defog. It's going to Magic Bounce, but that doesn't matter. It's going to defog the Rock Spike anyway. And I'm going to just knock off his Rotom. So, no Light Clay for him. He is a Screens Rotom, and that in and of itself is terrifying to me. I'm going to knock him off again, just kind of get some damage off on this thing. As much damage as I can get. He's going to set up a Reflect. I'm going to go for another knockoff. And then what we're going to see is we're going to see him go for a Volt Switch. And on this turn, I decide to go for a Recover, because I figured he's going to try to go for some kind of damage to keep myself at max HP. He's going to go for a Quiver Dance with his Volcarona here, and I'm going to miss a Toxic. And that... It's kind of big. It's kind of a big deal. He's going to Fire Blast here, and that's going to do a massive amount of damage to me. I'm going to be able to get the Toxic off here. Would have been nice to have already started racking up the Toxic damage. Would have been real nice to have already racked up some of that. But he's going to go for his Z move here. Maybe predicting me to switch out. I don't know. But that's fine. I'm actually going to be able to now go out into my Pyukumuku, who is here to wall this thing. Look at that Giga Drain. That's 40%. From a Volcarona, and I'm going to soak it so that it doesn't have stab on any of its attacks. So I'm going to recover on this turn, and thinking he might like Volt Switch or Leaf Storm or something along those lines, I'm going to switch out into my Shaymin, as he is going to set up a Light Screen. And that is a problem, because I am an Assault Vested, specially offensive Shaymin. So he's going to go into his Volcarona, and then he's going to double out into his Tyrantrum, who is going to take this Air Slash. And now I essentially had to decide what I wanted to die. Now, realistically, Shaymin wasn't the most important mon on my team. I actually kind of needed this Zapdos. In all honesty, I really needed this Zapdos to be healthy and to shut down the Scizor later. I could have at least gone for a Seed Flare on Shaymin, so that at least I would be in a better position, but hindsight's 20/20. He's going to go for the Head Smash, though, and it's going to be able to OHKO my physically defensive Zapdos, and he's going to take that Rocky Helmet shit, but that's about all. I'm going to go back out into Haxorus now, as he's going to switch into his Crocodile. Earthquake is going to do a little bit of chip damage, showing that he's like at least some kind of bulkier spread of Crook, so that's understandable. So he's going to set up his rocks here now. As I set up a Dragon Dance, I'm going to set up another Dragon Dance here. If I had a fire move, this game would have been over, but unfortunately I did not. I had to have the Poison Jab for the Florges. I had to have the Earthquake for things like the Tyrantrum, and obviously Stab Dragon Claw, which is important. So he's going to be able to eat my Earthquake up. He's going to Bullet Punch me twice with my Shaymin, and that's fine. I'm going to just Hidden Power Fire and knock out the Scizor. So, with that being said, he does still have that Tyrantrum just chilling there. Bug Buzz is going to be able to knock me out from the Volcarona, which is yikes scary. I'm going to go back into Pyukumuku, and I'm going to just go for Recover to make sure I'm at full health. This is another thing that I really wish, in hindsight, I had thought of in prep, was to bring Counter. Because that would have potentially saved this game. Look how much we lived the Head Smash. So I would have been able to counter and kill it. And then, depending on what he went out into, I could have been able to maybe pull something back. I don't know. I'm just going to Earthquake here, though. It's going to take out the Tyrantrum. Banded Tyrantrum was just too much for my team. It's just the simple way to put it. Yeah, there was nothing I could do against it. But I'm going to try to set up a Dragon Dance here in front of the Crook, but he's just going to be able to Earthquake and knock me out, which is fine. And he's going to pick up the 2-0 victory. So we are 0-2 so far with this stall team. I'm new to stall, so I'm still have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to test it out and see what I can do with it. And honestly, I don't feel like I've had a great matchup for the stall team to really show its stuff, because like, look at what I've faced so far, right? We faced Coco Lucha week 1, right? We faced Coco Lucha week 1, which is already tough enough as it is to beat without having a stall team. But then you add in the fact that we played wall breakers, like that we had things like Mega Scizor, Tyrantrum, things like that, that can just break through the entirety of my squad. Like, you know, maybe I'm just not seeing certain things. Maybe that there's certain strategies that I could have implemented that would have been better, but who knows. But we lost 2-0. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up some W's soon. But thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, guys, I'm PokePrimer, signing off.